So back at Rovers, how's it feel?
Well, it's easy for me to say, because that's what probably everyone expects me to say, that it's great to get back, but it truly is. To come back and be at a club that you have so much affection for in a different capacity as a manager is at times a wee bit surreal, really, to be honest, because I still sort of walk around the place and see how it was when I played there, and there's still a lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar things. Of course there's things changed, but it's still a fantastic football club.
So what are your plans going forward?
To win the next game, and that's not even a rehearsed answer. It has to be that. I've had these challenges a few times in my career as a manager now and also as a player, and the most important thing is just to win, or do all you can to win the next game of football, and perform in a way that the fans and the players are capable of, and the fans want to see. That's important, but I'm sure that we will achieve that.
How easy was the decision to drop down 2 divisions to Tranmere?
Well, that's a good question, because it's it is something that people need to know, that I never looked at it as dropping down, although technically, physically, yes it is, league table wise, but in terms of coming to a club that you have so much regard for and so excited about, trying to win games for it and with it and along with your players, because I know what it can be like here. So that's the exciting part for me, is winning games of football for Tranmere Rovers, a club that I have so much affection for, and a club, by the way, that a lot of ex-players and fans that I know throughout the country who have texted me and are still texting me now and contacting me, all saying the same things, get in and win games, because they have so much affection for the club. So that would be the answer to that. I have a lot of affection for the club and I want to win games for them.
Are you looking to bring in Mike Jackson as your assistant again?
But that's something I'm talking about with the chairman, and I'm sure when that happens, hopefully we'll be able to speak about that. But he's obviously somebody that I know very, very well, and I work, I believe, very, very well with. So it was just something that I would like to do.
Micky, you've got experience of getting out of this league before. What does it take to win promotion?
Well, if you try to sound clever, you've got to win games. It's as simple as that. And you've got to take each game in its merit and know the situations you're going into, because there's some tough places to go to and try and win games. We know that. I mean, there's tough places everywhere, but I think in terms of you can go from Tranmere to, with all due respect, another club, and it won't be of the same level of ground, pitch as Tranmere. So you've got to have a group of players that are prepared to adapt in order to go and try and achieve the victories. Which, looking at the squad at the minute, there's a lot of lads who know these levels very well. I know a lot of them, and I'm sure that they'll be able to do that. But that's what it's going to be able to take. You need to have adaptive players that can go from Tranmere playing on a pitch like it's a bowling green, to another club, with all due respect to them all, that isn't a club with a history or facilities or environment that Tranmere has. That's the challenge.
And Mark, what convinced you that Micky is the right man to lead Tranmere back to the Football League?
There were a number of things. I mean, the first thing that stands out, I think, is his track record. He's got 3 promotions on his CV. He's a relatively young manager, so he knows how to win leagues, and he knows how to win leagues in this area. There's no point in trying to bring Mourinho in, because I don't think he did very well with the facilities we have and the players that we have. So he understands the whole context in which the team plays, or the club plays, at this point in time. The second thing is that what I know of Micky is that he's ambitious, and I wouldn't just say, well, everybody's ambitious, but there's a question of degree, and I think that along with that ambition is something that's that I think is very important. I mean, I'm bringing Micky back to the club for the third time, and this is my third time back at the club. And I'm not just sort of saying, well, like, you know, that's you're just repeating and copying, but the reality is that he has an affinity for the club and he has an affection for the club. We spoke at Johnny King's funeral when he came in. It was quite clear he was well regarded by everybody, and he's part of the fabric. He's part of the fabric of the place, and I think that's important. As I've said many times, that the thing that that really sort of makes it all worthwhile coming back for me is when I hear fans say they're proud of their club again, and I think that that's important. That, you know, the manager has that, and the manager understands that, because the affinity with the fans. The one asset we've not really leveraged since we've been here. We've leveraged the ground, we've leveraged the car park, we've sold the pitch for the concerts. The one asset we've not leveraged that we have is the fan base. And I think Micky's affinity with the fans here will take that asset and kick us on even further. So I think that's very important to understand what the club's about.
Micky, you say you've been in this league before, obviously with Fleetwood. Have you had much chance to see the teams this season? Do you know what this league's about this season?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of Tranmere, because we have Ethan here alone when I was at Shrewsbury. So how we develop the young players would mean that we would watch the club that they were playing for. So that happened to be Tranmere. So yeah, I've seen Tranmere since Ethan's been here. I plan to this afternoon get my head into a whole box of DVDs and learn as much as I can about the group, and learn as much as I can about other teams that are playing. But of course we have people here who, like Paul Carden, who are here, Garner, who I know very well, Lee Jones, and Andy Parkinson, who have been here and are watching the game, so I'll rely on them as well and speak to them. I've had these teams watched anyway, like Wrexham tomorrow, so we'll have done everything that I possibly can to get to know every opponent that we're going to be up against, and try and use every way possible of continuing to get as much knowledge about the league as I possibly can.
If we put the team and the playing style to one side, the other biggest pressure here is obviously fans' expectation. Do you have any idea how you're going to go take that on?
I'm glad you asked that, because many years ago I probably sat in front of you and said I have a philosophy that this is what I'm going to do and blah blah blah. The way that I wanted to, my first remit is to win games of football. But what I'll do is I'll use the group that we have here in order to try and give ourselves, there's nothing guaranteed, but give ourselves the best chance possible of consistently winning games of football by finding a style of play that suits the level, that suits the player that I have in the building. There's no use me bowling into here. I think that would be inexperienced, and believing that I can create something that the players are not capable of, or that isn't the style that the players would be good at, in order to give a consistent chance of winning games. So I'll learn a wee bit more about that, and certainly tomorrow I'll learn a bit of what I know before, and I know a lot of the players anyway. I had them a couple of them at Fleetwood and played against a few of them anyway, so I know what they're capable of. And very, very quickly I know that I have to find a style of play that first of all wins games, or gives us a chance of winning games, and people are wanting to come and play and sit and watch. So that's really what in my head at the minute I'm aiming to do as quickly as possible.
So looking towards tomorrow's game, your first big task, what's your evaluation?
I'm going to talk the bail out. No, so it's not the first bit. No, again, and this is just in my experience, in my opinion, because I don't really try and copy anybody, and that's not try to be arrogant. I just try and be who I am, and I hope that I'll always have that relationship. You'll see that with me. But I believe that tomorrow it would be wrong of me to come in and try and heavily stamped my style on a group of players that I've been on the training ground with today for 45 minutes to an hour. So there'll be things as I go along I'll try and tweak, but not sort of overload the players. But I believe there's a good group here anyway, and they're certainly heading in the right direction. And it'll be about me coming in now and not disturbing that, but maybe trying to make that more consistent or help when situations come up that we need to get better, and then gradually build it from there with the principles of how I want the game played, that I think that any level of players can do. I'll be bringing them in so that you can consistently do them anyway, because we'll be doing them in training every day when we get going.
So Micky, sad seeing now, what's your message to the fans? What can they expect from Micky Mellon's side?
Well, they'll certainly they'll be proud to play for the club. I think what happens when you get into these situations, I've taken over a relegated club before when I was at Shrewsbury, and all everybody spoke about was years gone by, or the level that we wanted to get back to. And I can believe that that's going to be happening here. But I think the important thing is to deal with now, is to deal with tomorrow, is to try and build something going forward for tomorrow. My focus is completely on the now, not where we want to get to. That's obviously the horizon and what we want to aim towards, but I can't lose sight of tomorrow. Try to build something, getting a team that's proud to play for this football club, because this is as good, if not one of the best clubs that you would want to play for at this level, because that's what it is at the minute. So getting them to be proud of playing for the team, getting them to get the ball down and pass it, being aggressive to get it back, all them things, all the kind of things, and eventually getting them to walk away from the games that I'm involved in as manager and saying, do you know what, that was worth going to go and watching, and they fought for us. They might not have gave us everything that I want to see in a game of football, but they fought for us and they ran hard and they were committed for the club, and that's what will be a non-negotiable for me with myself and the players. That's one thing that we will always try and do, is make sure we fight for this football club every game.
And I was excited to think coming to a National League side, straight to a fan base of between 4,000 and 5,000 fans a game. That's unheard of in the National League. It must make your job a little bit easier knowing that many fans are going to come week in, week out to see it.
It is, yeah, but it's not unheard of, because you get Luton and big clubs like that who have had to deal with these things before, and other clubs, Grimsby's, Alarmy, they were big clubs at these levels, and they'll be having the same sort of, not the same challenges as us. But of course, if you want to be achieving in football, you've got to take these kind of challenges on, which excites me. I know the size of the challenge, but I believe in myself and in the football club and the group of players that we have, that we can have a really good go at this and have a good time. I think the important thing is I want to have a good time. I love football. I want this to be a place where I want to come to. I want to come to work because I like it here, and I want to show that to the fans that this is a place where people love the football, and that's how I want to get that message out to them. That's what we're going to achieve here.
Any more questions?
Where will you be watching the game tomorrow? From the dining stand?
Yeah, that's a good question, because television. Yeah, television at home. No, I've thought about this, and I know every manager likes that little gimme game, don't they? You know, go and sit in the stand and say, what do you want to do with me? Just have the wee gimme game, because you don't get many after that. But no, I'm going to be in the dugout. I think it's, again, what I want to do, what I believe I can help the players by being there, and the fans can see me there, and seeing that I'm passionate about the team, represent them properly, and plus the fact that I want to be there, I want to be in the thick of it and go and enjoy it. So yeah, I'll be in the dugout, I'll be in the technical area, shouting in Scottish, and nobody will understand what they're saying. Not that it makes any difference anyway.